Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today I want to talk about moving your body more, but in a loving way. So I've actually had a love-hate relationship with working out. And I do say had because I look at it so much differently now. But years ago, I would work out. I would work out like 6 days a week. Actually, there was once a time that I went to the gym 7 days a week. And yeah, 7 days a week. It's like I did not let my body rest. Anyways, like I said, love, hate relationship. I've learned a lot. And I'm sure I still have a lot to learn. The thing is, I used to work out to look good. I wanted to be a certain weight. It was always about the scale, always about looking good. I never focused on it, how it made me feel. Did it make me feel good? So I was working out nonstop. And I remember when my oldest was a baby, I'd go taking them walks. They were born in December. So in Ontario, I'm bundling them up in January and we're walking around the neighborhood. And then I would work out to Jillian Michaels 6 times a week. And I was doing this and doing this. And then I had my second child. And he didn't sleep through the night for the first 2 years. And I might have worked out a little bit, but I did not have that kind of energy. And then I was relying on sugar to have fake energy. Anyways, that's a different story for a different day. And I've shared it, I'm sure, in a different episode about sugar. Anyways, today is about moving your body. So eventually I stumbled upon something where it was more about what you eat than working out. So I'm like, well, I threw working out the window. I was like, I don't need you. I don't need movement. Who needs movement? And I laughed because I needed movement. The thing is, when I stopped moving my body, I realized something, but it was a little late. I realized that moving your body is a healthy thing. And yes, it can help us be more fit, but it also helps us feel good. Mentally, emotionally, and even physically, where you just feel stronger. So for a few years there, I wasn't really moving my body. Like I go for walks, I go to the beach, I'd move my body, but I wasn't mindful of how much movement I was having in a day. And really what I do sit a lot. So it is about being mindful, moving my body. So anyways, I have really come to look at moving my body through a new lens. The lens that is, I'm doing this because I want to feel good. I want to be healthy. But it has, as much as I do look at the scale from time to time as a way to just be like, hey, where am I sitting? But I don't actually work out anymore to look good. I work out again because I want to feel good. So right before the holidays, I was actually working on redesigning my website because it was a few years and a lot has changed in my business and with myself. And I really wanted to give it a fresh look and really just clean it up. And things were taking a little longer than planned. And I was actually working longer. I wanted to have time off before the kids got out of school and things. And I was working longer hours. And I really wanted to get it done because I wanted to have new free gifts on my website to help women right in the new year for free and really help them on their journeys. Anyways, one of the things that was non-negotiable for me was working out, showing up on my mat and working out because I know how important it is for my mental well-being. And then also, if I'm not at a good place, how am I supposed to show up for others? So for my kids, my husband, and for my community. So I was really mindful. So even if I slept in late one day because I had a really late night working or things like that, I would still show up on the mat, even though I was like, oh man, I should be in my office right now doing things. I was like, no, get out my mat. I start with my yoga practice and then I go to the next thing, which is strength training. And then other days, alternative days, I do cardio. And in there, actually, I do meditation as well after my yoga practice. So it's part of my yoga practice, really. So like I said, I have had, a love-hate relationship with working out, but I've really started to look at it in a new light. And I want to share some tips that I've learned over the years, especially these past couple, and share them with you and see if anything might help you find ways to move your body in loving ways. So first off, what I did, I believe it was in the fall, is I decided if I'm going to show up consistently, like I want to feel good when I show up consistently. And I didn't have to wait for my body to look the way I want to feel, or I didn't want to wait for things, if that makes sense. So I wanted to feel good in that moment. So I bought myself a couple workout outfits. And they're fun and they're bright. And at one point I thought, oh, I'll buy them when I reach a certain weight. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't need to be a certain weight to have a fun outfit. So I got those outfits. And every time I put them on to work out, I'm like, it puts a smile on my face. I'm like, yeah, rocking it. And it makes me feel good. I also make a yoga mat cleaner that smells good. And I spray it on after a cleaning. It's a ritual I have. So it's creating beautiful little ritual moments. So for me, it's getting up and putting on my workout outfit. And then it's getting out the mat. And after I work out, it's taking a beautiful smelling cleaner and rubbing, like wiping down the mat after to end it. And it's just this beautiful thing I do. But it's getting, buy an outfit or find an outfit that you want to work in that makes you feel good. And another one is just start. Just do it already. So I say this because I've been there where I'm laying in bed and I'm like, I don't want to get up and work out. I don't want to move my body right now. Like, let me get my coffee in me and work in my office and things. Like, I just want to jump over that little part of my morning routine. However, I remind myself why I do it in the first place. I want to feel good. I want to be at a good mental capacity for the day. I want to, I want to be in a place of love and just feel really good and happy. And I know that when I don't work out, my PMS is off the charts. And then no one around me is safe. So I try really, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this for myself and I'm doing this for the sake of others. Like, it's reminding myself my why I do it. And there's days where I'm like, okay, actually, there's even days where I don't even pull out my yoga mat. I just, right on the floor, start my yoga practice. So let's go back. So when I have a day where I'm like, I don't want to do it, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to do one round of sun salutations, just one. And then usually I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. Let's do another one. And I continue. And there's been many a times where I've done my whole yoga practice with no mat because I'm like, I don't want to get the mat out. I don't want to clean the mat off after. So I just do one and then it continues. So just starting sometimes is all you need, because the moment your body and your mind, you're reminded of why you're doing it in the first place, you're starting to feel good. So just taking it one step. I'm just going to do one thing. Just start. It might just be getting that yoga mat out. I do prefer to use a yoga mat because it's just softer and then I don't slip and slide everywhere either. But anyways, starting right where you are. Just do it. Just start. And remember, progress over perfection. You don't have to do it perfectly. And if you miss a day, you miss a day. Just get back on another day. I have personally done this where I thought, okay, I have a workout schedule. I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then if it doesn't go right, it's like, well, I didn't do it yesterday, so why do I do it today? Well, because I still want to feel good, right? But we can get so caught up in if I didn't show up and do it perfectly, or if I didn't, do every single day and I didn't show up, or I didn't do what I wanted to, or it's like maybe you just weren't feeling good and you do a different workout. You still showed up. So don't focus on perfection, focus on progress. And one of the things that I've learned is I practice Ashtanga yoga, and that is following the same series. So I do the primary series. The thing is, I don't always have an hour and a half for my yoga practice. So I actually I do a shorter practice as well. So on days that I don't have that kind of time. Also, when I have my moon cycle, I have 2 days that are in extreme, like insane, like just heavy days. So instead of skipping my practice, I actually do a sitting practice. This way my body is still showing up. I'll practice and focus on my neck and my shoulders. We hold a lot of tension there. And then I'll still do my meditation after and focus on that. So it's still showing up, but in a different way. And that leads into my next tip. Listen to your body. So maybe you're not feeling good. You got a cold or something and it's really not good. Like, take a day off and get into bed and relax. It's about listening to your body. Today I had a headache and I was like, ooh, and anyways, I'm not going to get too much into it, but I'm dealing with some candida symptoms right now again, and my balance is off. So it's just being mindful of my body. So instead of, tipping and turning and like bending over and things like that, where it can create dizziness, I sat to do my yoga practice today. Does that mean that I don't show up tomorrow because it wasn't perfect? No, I was listening to my body. And because I have so much tension in my shoulders, like I was just talking about, I've been sitting at my desk and I think my posture has been not so good. Anyways, again, listen to your body. So my body needed some serious neck and shoulder focus. And that's what I did today. Another thing is find a time that works for you. So some people say, it's best to work out in the morning. It's best to work at night. You know what's best? When you show up. So I used to work out, after work or in the evening after supper when I had a job that was early in the morning. Like I worked in a warehouse that I had to start at 6:00 in the morning. There was no way in heck there was no way I was going to make it to anything before then. And that was when I was going to the gym too. So it'd be after work or after supper. And that was before kids too. So I actually find my sweet spots right after my kids go to school. I work from home. I work for myself. So I set my hours. But it's the first thing I do after getting up, because I know the moment I leave my room and I start my day, the chances of me getting back to my yoga mat are pretty slim. Now, there are times where I manage to get in an evening yoga practice, but I no longer want to get sweaty before bed because then I get too energized. So I actually really, really like to get my workout in the morning, and then I'm on with my day. Now, that being said, I do have a little trampoline in my office that I like to rebound on when I'm sitting too long. I need to take a break. And the other thing is, it's moving your body in ways that feel good to you. So I've tried many things. I've tried many things. And one thing I know is I'm not a big fan of running. I can do it, but I don't love it. So like I mentioned before, I loved bouncing on my trampoline, rebounding, and I love strength training. And then it's going for walks and hikes and things like that. I really actually love adding movement into my life. So going on adventures with my kids and my husband through the forest or with a friend, and making a part of my lifestyle. So not just in the morning, like I love my yoga mat and my yoga practice and strength training, like that happens right there. And then it's adding in other movement throughout my week and day, but making it a lifestyle. So I can't wait until the weather gets a little warmer and do some paddleboarding again. People paddleboard here in the winter, but you got to have the right gear for that. So I like it when the weather's just a little warmer. So I can't wait to get back on my paddleboard, because it's movement, but it's fun and it's adventurous and it's just doing what feels good to you. So maybe you like sports. Maybe you like dancing. I love dancing, and that's something my husband and I would love to get back into. And maybe now that our kids are getting older, we can do that again. So just finding the time and really making it a priority is really what it is. And it's figuring out what you love to do. I love Zumba. The only thing is I signed up for a Zumba class and it landed on my Friday in the middle of other things I already had planned. and it was a little hard to rearrange my schedule for. So this is why I personally love having my routine at home. I have a home practice, like a home yoga practice, and I have a home strength training and cardio. I have all my practices at home because then I can work my life schedule around it, but it's happening, if that makes sense. But it's, again, doing what works for you. Maybe you like the gym. I loved taking fitness classes. I really loved being a part of that. So it's really finding what works for you. And when I say I love fitness classes, I did love fitness classes when I didn't have children. And I'm sure, again, somewhere down the line, I will join fitness classes again. Because then when my kids are older and things are a little bit different. But right now, my schedule is different. So I really want to start my day with my workout. And honestly, if I had to go to the gym in the morning before working, and it's cold in the winter and sometimes rainy, okay, let's be honest, a lot of rainy, then I wouldn't show up. I wouldn't do it. But I know what works for me. It's getting up, getting dressed, and getting on my mat. So again, it's what works for you. Because what works for me might not work for you. Maybe you need to have that energy around you with other people working out too. And that's totally cool. I get it because it is fun and exciting. And sometimes you need that extra push. But right now in my own life, it makes more sense to show up on my mat at home. Because I won't show up any other way, really, if I'm going to be honest with myself. Now, I said earlier, before the holidays, I made working out and showing up on my mat a non-negotiable. Now, as I record this, it's actually the first week back for school for my kiddos, and things look a little bit different. I started this week out strong. I got on my yoga mat on Monday, but I was having a hard time getting back into a good sleep routine. I actually learned over the holidays that my body likes to wake up at 10:25 a.m. However, that's not ideal for when my kids are on their way to school around 8:15 a.m. So I've been figuring out my sleep patterns, and that means that I have been shifting and I haven't been as fully in my routine like I was, and making it a non-negotiable, because then lately I've been making sleep a non-negotiable. I need to make sure I get sleep, and it hasn't always looked pretty this week. But let's go back to progress over perfection. So for me, it's taking those small steps. So today, instead of getting on my yoga mat and doing a full yoga practice, I decided, okay, I have a headache and I have a lot of tension, probably because I haven't been doing my yoga practice. Let's be honest here. The thing is, I focused on a small step that I could do today. So maybe I didn't want to do the whole thing, but I sat down and focused on my neck and shoulders, if that makes sense. The thing is, it's about showing up where you are. Just because one day doesn't go as planned doesn't mean you can't turn it around. It's not an all or nothing. It's about feeling good, taking care of your body in a loving way so you can be you. I hope this has helped. And remember, really lean on the whole progress. Just take it one day at a time. And maybe you try something and it doesn't work. Maybe it's not for you. Like I said, I don't really love running, but I did join a running group, and I did that for a while. Now, I did pick it up right when my oldest was probably about 6 months old. So maybe it wasn't the best time. And I think I did it in the early spring in Ontario. So I was also running when the air was frigid cold and my lungs would freeze. So maybe it's not the best time. And the thing is, we try something. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's not for us. Or maybe it's not for you. And then you shift. And you change and you find what works for you. And just remember your why. And it's leaning into loving yourself. And I want to leave you with a few quotes. These quotes are from a course I took about weight loss and confidence through the tapping solution with Jessica. And there's just I put them on my wall in my bedroom so I see them. And there's a lot, so I'm only going to share a few right now. But fit is not a destination, it's a way of life. The only bad workout is the one that didn't happen. I love this one. No matter how slow you go, you are still lapping everybody on the couch. Ain't that the truth? These aren't meant to make you feel, this is me now back. I'll share a few more quotes in a second, but these aren't meant to make you feel bad. They're meant to motivate and inspire you to move your body in loving ways. Here's another quote. Have fun when you work out and it won't feel like work. That is so true. One more fun tip that just came to me after listening to this quote actually is, so I used to have this idea of what kind of music, you have your yoga practice to, just like slow, chimey music. Then I took the yoga teacher course last February, and our teacher would every Thursday do something fun and have like a fun album. Like we did the Beatles, we practiced the Beatles, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. So now I actually practice to music. So, it might be Taylor Swift. It actually, over the holidays, it was the Beach Boys. I was loving it. Had such a good time. And sometimes I throw on 90s music and just a 90s music workout. And I just have that on. I really get energized around music. And that is what fuels me. So I do that for my yoga practice and then right into my workout. If I'm watching a DVD, I'll literally turn down the volume and just like have it enough that I can hear the cues, but that I'm hearing mostly my music. And after a while, if I'm doing the workout for enough times that I don't actually need to hear what they're saying anyways. And in fact, it can actually get a little annoying, right? Because you hear them say the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like, okay, get on with it. Like, let's do this workout. But I have the music on in the background and then I don't get annoyed as much. So have fun with it. That's another key component that I forgot to mention in the tips. But put on music that makes you feel good. I actually have a headband too. So if my kids are home, I can actually put my music right on. It's a wireless headband that plays music. I can just link it to my phone and it's so much better because then I don't have earbuds in because like they'll just pop out. I do not wear I have little ears. So earbuds and I are not the best. But I have this headband that goes over and it's so good. And then this way I don't, hear my kids running around doing their thing as much. So it's really cool. And here's another quote. A year from now, you will wish you had started today. And that one's from Karen Lamb. Not all of them had people quoted with. So, here's another one that's really good. There is 1,440 minutes in a day. Use 30 of them to work out. When we literally put our day into minutes and we're like, whoa, I can do 30 minutes. That's a lot of minutes in a day, over 1,000 minutes in a day. It's like I can use 30 of those to work out. Like it's about changing our mindset about moving our body. And like I said, if you can incorporate it into a lifestyle, going for walks with a friend or your family, things like that, your dog more often, around here, we got some serious hillage. Like there's some hills. It's nature's stairmasters. I'm going to share some posts about that too at some point. The Stairmaster, for sure. Like the hills are quite awesome. So you don't really need a gym when you have hills the size of whatever. I don't know. It's kind of like San Francisco, but without all the people. Okay. Anyways, so let's see. One more quote and then we'll end it. Okay. Sorry. Okay. 2 more quotes and then we will wrap things up. So ask yourself, if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. Ooh, that's a good one. That is so good. It's juicy. And the last one, this one's really good too. One of the greatest moments in life is realizing that 2 weeks ago, your body couldn't do what you just did. Oh, that's so good. Have you ever had it where, you're stiff or you just haven't been doing, maybe like, let's go with strength training. Cause like I said, that's one of my faves. So you start with like 3 pounds or 5 pounds, and then you're like, okay, that's like nothing. And then you move up and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm lifting 15-pound weights, doing the same thing I was doing like weeks ago. So it's really fun when you can see things. So remember, moving your body with love, it's like it doesn't mean you hate your body. So anyways, I just remembered a quote that was on here and I really want to share. I know I said that was the last quote, but there's one more and it just ties into what I just said. And this is better than I could say it. I don't work hard because I hate my body. I work out because I love it. So it's about working out because you love your body. And like I said, I used to do it to look good. Now I do it because I want to feel good. So it's remembering working out isn't just about body image. It's about taking care of your body with love, moving your body, feeling good. Like it's a mental thing. Like it helps with emotions and your mindset. It helps with so much. And I know when I haven't shown up for a while, I can feel it now. And then I'm like, whoa, I really need to recommit to my mat and show up for me. Because if I don't, then I'm not going to be the best I can be. It's about loving yourself, but knowing that, it really just helps you show up as the best you. It's not about looks. It's not about fit into the right size clothes. It's about being energized enough, having energy, feeling strong and confident and empowered because you're moving your body with love and loving your body enough to move it. I hope that makes sense. And I hope I hope it makes sense. I'm going to wrap it up now. I feel like I've gone on a little longer. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, progress, not perfection. And if you focus on perfection, then you can get tripped over being perfect. And then that's when we talk ourselves out of doing the things that are really good for us. Hope that makes sense. And thank you again for being here. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Happy moving, happy dancing, happy walking, whatever feels good to you. Happy bouncing. Take care and have a beautiful day. Bye for now.